Brief.
Thank you.
Actually, I'm going to start with some questions with you, if I could,
Sure.
please. Mr. Scott, at the budget estimates, recent budget estimates, I asked you about the legal action that was being taken by Mr. Chris Kenny against the Chaser.
Yeah.
You indicated that it was in the hands of the lawyers.
Yes.
7 months later, you apologised. It took you 7 months to come to a conclusion that everyone who saw that disgraceful skit had come to the next day. What prompted you to suddenly realise an apology might be in order?
Yeah, Senator, that program went to air, and shortly after.
Shush, please.
Shortly after it went to air, I indicated that I thought it was in bad taste, and I made some public statements on that. But I also indicated that there was a significant review that was underway. From the ABC's internal processes that subsequently went to the ACMA. And the questions that they were looking at was the nature of satire.
I'll just ask a simple question.
Yeah, I know, but I'm giving you an answer, Senator, because you asked about the chronology and the time frame, and I want to be thorough in my answer with you. So there was some significant debate that emerged on the nature of comedians, the nature of comics, the nature of satire, and so a detailed review was underway from the ACMA. And what I said at the time was I'd wait for the ACMA report to come out before issuing a statement. We subsequently reviewed it internally. I still haven't seen the ACMA report on it, but we felt that, and I felt that it was appropriate to come out and make a statement of apology. The Director of Television and I discussed it. We felt that the skit fell short of the quality demanded by ABC audiences, and so
After 7 months.
Yeah, but Senator, as I indicated at the time, of the skit, we were waiting for those review processes. Those review processes clearly took a long time. I still haven't seen the ACMA report, so I made a statement, and I called Mr. Kenny and I apologised to him. Mr. Kenny had said publicly he'd sought an apology. We granted him that apology, and I reiterate what I said at the time. I thought the skit fell short of the quality demanded by ABC audiences. The ABC's processes should have reviewed that in advance of it going to air, and the apology received very wide coverage, Senator, through broadcast mediums on the ABC, but also elsewhere. It was posted on our website and our corrections page.
Okay, well, you were quoted in an article saying the delayed response was a mistake.
Yeah,
Was it a mistake?
Senator,
Was it a mistake?
Yeah, what I think in reflection, Senator, was that, waiting for these processes to work their way through, that clearly took a long time. They're still ongoing, and I think in hindsight, Senator, we should have responded more quickly. And I said that to Mr. Kenny, and that was one of the things I apologised to him for.
Yeah, well, do you realise that all these legal bills that you would have faced would have been saved with a simple apology? Mr. Kenny is on record as saying he filed the case only because the ABC did not apologise.
Yeah. Well, Senator,
so if you had apologised earlier, you wouldn't have this legal fight.
Well, perhaps, Senator, I don't want to provide commentary on Mr. Kenny's motives. As you know, legal action is continuing. The ABC is in negotiation with Mr. Kenny, and I don't want to provide further detail on that at this point.
Mr. Chairman, can I just ask a question in relation?
Certainly, Senator Russell.
In terms of the legal representation that the ABC is obviously have to have on its own behalf in relation to this matter, is that something that you deal with internally?
In the main, Senator, we sometimes get some external advice around matters as well.
Have you sought external advice?
Yes, we have on this matter.
And has that been paid for within ABC budget?
Yes, it'd be within the ABC legal budget, Senator.
Okay. Do you have an idea of both what the cost of the internal and the external legal advice?
I don't have that on me, Senator, so I can take some of that on notice. The matter of costs and the resolution of the case, this is all a matter that's still working its way through. There's been some reporting on that, Senator, that I don't think has been particularly precise. There have been ongoing discussions around this case since I made my statement. Mr. Kenny said at the time he was keen to quickly resolve it. We're keen to resolve it as well, and there have been ongoing negotiations from that point.
Okay. My point is made only on the basis that we've just had a lot of discussions this morning about the ABC and about efficiency dividends and about, cutting, frontline service, etc. And I draw to your attention that we are using resources here to
Yes.
defend a case which I believe is completely indefensible, but that's
Yeah.
my opinion, and
Sure.
you're entitled to yours, which are actually taxpayers' funds. So
Yes,
you're
well,
actually,
exactly.
Can I just finish? So you're actually using taxpayers' funds to defend something in the public domain that any other normal organisation would have to justify. But so you're using taxpayers' funds to defend something that you could have quite easily resolved. So, I mean, how do you reconcile that in your mind as an efficient and effective use
Yes.
of the funds that are given to you to meet your charter at the ABC, when I believe you're just wasting them on a defence of a case that's indefensible?
Well, Senator, I'd encourage you not to leap to judgment on these matters in this process, depending on some media reports that have been written about it. We're very conscious of taxpayer payments. We're very conscious of how we are funded. I would say to you, Senator, that we receive many threats of defamation, legal letters around parts of our content, and we manage those matters as appropriately as we can. One of the things we don't do, Senator, is we don't arbitrarily make payouts when we have legal advice that's pretty careful about what is the appropriate level of payment that should be made. Now, I don't want to get into the specifics of this, but we have sought to resolve this matter. We have taken legal advice on it, and we are conscious of our responsibility of the taxpayer in doing so. We are keen to bring this matter to a close, as I understand Mr Kenny is as well.
Very good, thank you, Mr Scott. Well, perhaps out of this whole sorry affair, this is the worst. Following your apology on the 14th of April, Julian Morrow, who is the executive producer of The Chaser, tweeted an image of you in a compromising position with a hamster and the words, "We respectfully disagree with the ABC Managing Director's decision and statement today." The article continues, "Far from being offended by the tweet, an ABC spokesman said, Mark laughed it off." There's a particular picture that I'm very sure you're familiar with. Now, Mr Scott, did you really find that funny that an image of you, the Managing Director of the National Broadcaster, having sex with a hamster on page 3 of the Telegraph and also being tweeted? Is that really funny?
Well, Senator, as I indicated earlier, on these matters, and it's in my experience now at the public broadcaster, also my experience in media before that, there will be debate, robust debate, over the nature of satire, the freedom given to comics and cartoonists, and there will be what is appropriate, what isn't appropriate. There have been numerous examples of this, including one where there's been a vigorous contest between the Press Council and the Australian about cartoons run in the Australian. There is debate and conjecture around this. Mr Morrow may not have been happy with the statement that was made by the ABC. I was very happy with it. Finally, I have to take responsibility for what is put to air. I did take responsibility. I did make the apology. I thought that was just a passing trifle, acknowledging that they weren't happy about it, and I had bigger issues to worry about.
Did you have words with Mr Morrow about it?
I haven't spoken to Mr Morrow about it. The Director of Television spoke with him about it.
You never spoke to him about it?
No, but Senator, there are more issues in play than a tweet. You know, seriously.
Well, the point I make is this. You described the sketch about Chris Kenny having sex with a dog as tasteless and undergraduate.
Yeah. I thought the tweet...
Yet a similar
Yeah.
description of you is funny.
No, I didn't say it was funny. I laughed it off. I thought it was tasteless and undergraduate also, Senator.
You laughed off, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, Senator, you know...
Scott's a big supporter of censorship.
Order, Senator Pratt.
Maybe look more thick-skinned than Mr. Kennedy.
Yeah. Well, I hope the standards are raised.
I note your comments.
I'm sure you've got the message through. Now, I want to go to protests on Q&A.